Who am I? That's a question that I've always wondered myself, but I kind of laid it to rest. Wasn't a huge ordeal, but I was challenged by that by a coworker the other day. My job, we're stuck in these helmets, and anybody that's rigged on these helmets is stuck listening to everything everybody else says. And I was kind of sharing my testimony briefly, mentioned that I had the chance or the opportunity to be able to preach at church, and he it's kind of just, well, who are you? I mean, what did you do to be able to do that? I mean, do you have a degree, this and that? What did you do in your life to be able to witness like that? And I was just like, you know, I really don't know. I was right. I was puzzled. Because to me, I'm one of the most sinful people I know. I mean, I try my best to live a life that God would be happy with, and one day be able to hear, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." I do what I can to share the gospel anywhere I want, or not where I want, where I can. And I'm a hypocrite at best. I've lied, I've cheated, I've stolen, I've committed murder in my heart by hating people. At one point in time, I contemplated suicide after having a really bad breakup, and now everything's really settled to the point where, I mean, I'm really happy with my life. Me and her are still on good terms as far as I know. She's settled down with a really great guy. But again, I mean, after all that sin, who am I? What did I do to deserve this? Because honestly, I'm blessed beyond my wildest imagination. I have a job that I thoroughly enjoy. I really do. Long hours, hard work, but it's enjoyable for me. I have an awesome church family back home. I have a great normal family, including blood, and just friends that have been there so tight knit that I consider them family more so than some of my blood. But honestly, again, who am I? I'm a nobody. I'm a sinner saved by grace. And as I mentioned before, I struggle with sin all the time. Hatred, lack of love. I don't read my Bible near enough. Um, I'm not praying whenever I should. I lust. Oh, God's definitely created some beauties out there. Maybe one or two of them that are flawless. Probably just one. Um, but I speed. I curse. I really try not to, but it slips. I'm human. I'm a work in progress. I don't witness a lot like I should. Post a lot on here, but do you have any clue how many hundreds of people I pass every day? And what's the most outgoing thing I do? Talk on a mic with guys that I've already worked with for a while. They already know that that's what I believe in. Wrote on a bathroom stall that, hey, Jesus saves. I mean, it ends up getting marked out anyway, but I mean, I tried. But again, who am I? I'm just flesh and bone headed in my grave, honestly. I did nothing to deserve what God's given me, and that's why it's called grace and mercy. It's unmerited favor. Why though? Why would a perfect king die for a sinner like me? It's love. And greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend. So thinking back on that day that I got saved in a little bitty church in Fordsville, I went from being a child of the devil in the world, even at a young age, to a child of the one true King. I've been saved and set free. Um, and even at a young age, I had a calling placed on my life. One that I didn't always follow. I was young, and I really didn't experience much. We were homeschooled, kept away from the most part of everything, really sheltered. But after I grew up, graduated, I got involved in your typical young activities. I mean, I did things that I wasn't proud of. Still not to this day. I really wish I could take them back. But I mean, I can't live in the past. I can't change it. That's why it's there. I got to live in the present and plan for the future, and just give God everything. Honestly, I gave my testimony up. I really, really didn't care for a while. Went through the rebellious stage right after that breakup, and it was nobody's fault but my own for not realizing that, hey, God is enough. Um, and honestly, I had a lot of self pity, talked to my pastor and his wife, gave me some really great advice, but I mean, I wasn't ready. My heart wasn't prepared. I knew it up here, not here though. Um, I was blaming God for it. I knew what was right. I knew He was preparing me for something, but I'd lay in bed. I'd listen to the likes of 3 Days Grace, just really, really down and blaming God for it. But as I'm blaming God and saying, why would you do this? You don't know what you're doing. I'd have to finish my own sentence by saying, but you honestly do. I'm the one that doesn't know the bigger picture. But looking back now, while I was fighting with myself, He was doing nothing more than turning me around and pointing my life in the right direction. He was showing me how much I needed Him, and that there's so much more to happiness than a pretty girl. And no matter how amazing and perfect she is, that you can have joy and, more importantly, peace with God. And I never truly understood and got to experience peace until I sold out to God. I'd had glimpses of it once in a great while, awesome church services where just bills didn't matter, health didn't matter, nothing. It was all perfect because God was in control for that moment. But as soon as I left the altar, walked down from the sound booth, whatever the case may be, and walked out the doors, I went right back to wondering, hey, how am I going to make it this next month? What am I going to be able to do to better myself? So, I never let go. So again, who am I? For a long time, I thought, because of those bad things I've done, the fact I couldn't let go, that I was unqualified. Because of my past failures, my sins, running away, He would never want to use me. Because I just was so down on myself, which wasn't right. I couldn't tell anybody about Jesus. That was for pastors, deacons, missionaries, and evangelists. I wasn't one of those. I was, like I said, a messed up sinner saved by grace, but to me that grace wasn't enough at the time. I made excuses. Honestly, I was playing the card like Moses, like, who am I? I can't go out in there and talk. Honestly, growing up, I was one of the shyest people you'll ever meet, but now I honestly can't shut up. I realized this whenever He asked, who am I? And I sat on it and dwelt on it. You know what? Like I said, I'm the child of a one true King. My sins are in my past and no more. My transgressions are cast into the bottoms of the depths of the sea. I'm separated from them as far as the east is from the west. They're forgiven in Jesus' name. I was finally worth something. And you know what? It's a great feeling knowing that a God who obviously doesn't need me, He wants me. He wants to use me. All I got to do is let Him. I wasn't a filthy rag anymore. I was covered in sin one moment, covered in grace in His blood the next. I was a new creature. I was able to go out and spread the word. And just like I post on almost everything, tell the world. Don't forget the hashtag. I found Christ's love and companionship to be one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And I have to share it. My friends probably get sick of it if they're not as sold out as I am. And whenever I did, the ones that weren't sold out at all treated me funny. It was crazy how these guys that I played basketball with or hung out with because of work, I kind of felt alienated. I was treated funny. It's just crazy to me how you mention the one person that'll never let you down, that loves you unconditionally no matter how bad something you do, they still love you. When I try to shine light on what true love is in a time where loved one, I was considered judgmental and closed-minded. I wasn't trying to condemn anybody to hell. I was trying to, really trying to show them the way to get to heaven. And but me trying to show them how to get to heaven, I was bashing others. I was telling people that they were doing wrong. And personal convictions, and I can find it in my Bible if you want me to, but it's wrong. But I was doing it in a loving, outreaching hand, here. I didn't do anything to deserve this, and you don't have to do anything either but accept Christ's free gift of salvation. But instead, they act like I'm pointing a finger and saying, you know what, you're going to hell just because you're a sinner. What it already established here. I'm a sinner too. I didn't really do anything to deserve anything but hell. I mean, what did any of us do? Honestly, I still sin daily. But trying to allow Jesus to use me. I'm really trying to take my hands off the wheel and let Him guide my life and direct me. And a lot of things He's sent me through weren't easy. I took over dealing with teenagers and teaching them at church. And let me tell you, a group of 7, 8 teenage girls with not a lot of other guys in there, scary feeling. Got taken out here on the road. I've not really been home but 2 days the past month. And it's crazy. But honestly, that's enough of my journey. Because honestly, again, who am I? Other than a sinner that accepted Christ into his life. Just like I'm going to ask you to do. Don't waste another second on your eternity. Because before you can click like, hopefully you click share so somebody else can hear this. But if you were to die right now and you don't know Jesus, it's an eternity in hell. I don't want that. It's not about religion. It's about a relationship with Christ. It's not about being a great person. It's not even about being good. It's not about giving. And I mean, definitely give your tithes. But I'm not going to sit here and preach give, because that's not what it's about. It's about a relationship and a heart change with the greatest of all time, the GOAT, as my boy Grayson says. Everybody knows who he is. It's Jesus Christ. Everybody knows him this much, when honestly he should be so wrapped around your life that somebody has to know Jesus before they can know you. So if you already know Jesus as your personal Savior, click the like button and the share button, not because I need any attention myself, but because somebody else needs to hear this. Start spreading His word on your own. Start posting videos, start posting statuses. Let people know, hey, time is near. Jesus is coming back. Hell is real. Hell is hot. You don't have to go there. If you don't know Him as your Savior, don't waste another second. Accept Him in your heart right now. And join me in this awesome trip to heaven one day. Thanks. Bye.